Hi, guys. It's Dr. Liz Jenkins with Dr. Liz Coaching. And I want to talk to you a few minutes about those moments where things don't go as planned, that maybe you didn't think about something or the unexpected popped up. And I think it's kind of timely. We just finished a 3 day weekend in my world, or for some people, it was a 4 day weekend. And many of my clients had huge expectations about how they were going to reconnect with family or different kind of events that they were going to go to. And not all of it went so well. Not all of those moments matched up with their initial dream or idea. Because you know what? When we are stressed or tired, our kids are stressed or tired, when we drive places, when we bump into our family of origin, our family and friends that maybe we haven't seen in a while, things don't always match up with our dreams and our ideas. And maybe for some of you, you experienced some of the rain that we had out here. And so I know many of folks that had planned a wonderful camping experience and barbecuing and getting together and playing yard games. And guess what? They spent many of it, crouched inside tents or hovered under some um, picnic area coverings while the rain just poured on and on. And so it's really having great ideas and having some fun things to think about, but it's also how you manage whatever ends up showing up in your life. And for those of you that look back on the weekend and you think, man, it didn't go the way we planned, and I'm really disappointed. Well, maybe we can talk, maybe a little bit of what I'm going to talk about, or share an example too with some of my couples that have had similar um, unplanned things, and yet they've been able to roll with it. So let me just, one of my couples, really, really nice, a few years back, they were heavily involved in a traveling activity for their daughters that required it was dance and things. And so it required expensive costuming, and extensive travel to different places. So they had loaded everybody into the car. This was not the kids' first rodeo, so to speak. So the kids were new and had been instructed to pack all of their costumes, all the shoes, everything, all the wardrobes, and get them ready and get them in the car when they do the on your mark, cassette, go. We're leaving for the trip. So about 2 hours into this drive, uh, the one of the parents starts doing that mental inventory, looking back over the stacks of costumings in these bags and things, and starts to think, doesn't look like enough. Does not look like enough. So just gets the kids to crawl back into the back of the car, and they start going through it, and they realize that one of the children um, failed to put their costuming into the car. Now it's not like maybe we forgot an extra pair of tennis shoes and we'll just swing by and pick one up at Target, or you'll just have to wear your old shoes for this. I mean, we're talking elaborate costumes, and they have a whole lot of team members or dance members that are also counting on everybody showing up in their clothes. So few hours out of town, on a rush to get where they need to go, and they're missing a very large part of what they need to show up and compete and entertain. So after a few, my clients say they just basically first lost the moment, lost it in the moment, debating, do we turn back, we turn back, spoil it for everybody. And then somebody got a bright idea, after they questioned the kid. It's like, what were you thinking? Why didn't you think about it? I didn't think about it. It was sitting there in my bed, and you said, let's go. And that's why I went. And I went. So, okay. Kid factor, parent factor, those things just happen. They didn't spend time screaming and yelling at each other. So these are clues. They did not scream and yell at each other. They were absolutely frustrated, absolutely beside themselves. They breathed. They interrogated the kid. What happened? Why didn't you get it? And then they checked with each other. Did you see it? No, I didn't see it. Okay. What they did decide is we're too far into this problem to blame anybody, and blaming's not going to magically get the clothing to appear, right? So they were breathing, they were checking out the facts, confirming that they were in a situation, and they made a very specific decision. They were not going to judge, They were not going to raise their voices. They were not going to blame, but they were going to solve the situation together. Okay. That is one of the huge things, guys, that successful couples do. Okay. We just get rid of that. Later on, we'll develop a strategy. So we're going to try to minimize that happening in the future. But for now, we just need to solve the situation. So they got onto the phone with a friend, asked them if they could go look for the costuming. Friend said, absolutely, knows exactly what it is, you know. And in the meantime, the friend is going to look for the outfit. Um, they find a car rental place. They pull off, they rent a car, and one of the parents starts driving backwards. They're driving back home. The friend, in this meantime, has secured the outfits. Costuming, of course, it's right there in that big bag, right? Shoes and everything on the kid's bed, and is now in their car driving towards the parent. Okay, so let's just say mama's going forward with the car with the kids and some of, you know, most of the costume, and dad's in the rental. And he's driving back to meet for rendezvous with a friend to make the handoff of the clothes, like a, you know, like a relay race, right? And then he'll turn around and book it back and try to and catch up with them at the destination place, wherever they are. Okay. What they do, they effectively kind of cut the stress and the drive. They figured out a way. They had a beautiful, kind friend who, once they dropped it off, turned around and went back home and continued on in life and felt good about helping them out in a pinch. Right? It was a win-win that could completely derail the entire trip, the event. People could have blown up with each other, been mad, turned around and said, you know, screw this, we're not going, all kids, and you're all going to blame your, you know, your brother or sister for not being ready. They didn't. And so I want you to be a successful couple. But in contrast, I had another couple, again, a while back, and they were going on a really cool camping trip. Now, you know, they talked about what they needed. They had the tent, they had the blow up mattress, they had, you know, things. And then this time, what they didn't have is they didn't know exactly where they were going to get to pitch their tent, and, you know, blow up the mattress. What ended up happening is they got a really cool remote place, but the extension cord that the husband had packed wasn't long enough to blow up the air mattress. And that set the entire trip in a tailspin. Why? Because the wife blamed and judged and lost her temper, and he got defensive. All of this in front of the kids. Right? Finally, he ended up taking the mattress with some of the kids' help down. They blew it up outside the tent and crammed it back into the tent, and all was good. So after all the blaming and all the exploding and all the defensiveness, and I didn't know it was a big that, and really put a huge damper on the entire weekend, and awkward too, because now everybody's in a tent and people are stewing and steaming. The problem was end up being solved. The blow up mattress worked. The trip was able to continue on. They were able to finish cooking and doing all those fun things. But there was tension in the air, and the parents didn't really like talk to each other very much for at least the first day. Why? We don't need that. We don't need that. So plan that there's going to be unplanned, unexpected things. Realize it's going to create an emotion with you, an emotion with your spouse, an emotion with the kids. It's okay. Okay, we're humans, we're human. And then make a very deliberate decision. Am I going to let this ruin everything for myself and everybody else? Or am I going to step back and figure out a solution together? How are we going to do this? Think outside the box, manage, punt, whatever you want to call it. And then you'll be able to look back like the first couple and go, whoa, wow, that was great. We were thinking of that. And I would have loved to have the second couple been able to say, that was so smart. And I was really mad at you at first because the extension cord and stuff with this. But since this was the only spot and it really was beautiful, I'm so glad you thought about taking it, blowing it up next to the car, and then hauling it up the hill. So let's have those successful moments for the planned and the unplanned so you can enjoy your holidays and your vacations this summer and over the coming years, right? You guys meet these moments head on, be mindful, get creative, be the successful couple, stay connected, and enjoy yourselves. And I will talk to you soon. Hey, I have a really cool checklist. It's a partner connection checklist. So if you'd like to have that in your back pocket as well, or put it on your phone, just DM me and I will send you the link. Take care. Bye bye.